Welcome back, and I can tell you that indeed it's a beautiful morning and the excitement is in the air, and we are looking forward to an amazing time for the next 40 minutes or so as we talk about inclusion of the deaf community. And that is the conversation we are having in today's program. That is one day at a time. Be part of this conversation. Hope TV Kenya across all our social media platforms. We are also live on YouTube, so you can also utilize the comments section, and also can see Zabu on the other end, because we are also live on TikTok as well. So we are covered in all the spaces there to ensure that we reach you wherever you are. So karibu sana to the segment, and of course you can tell that it's a special one because you can see that we even have a sign language interpreter, our co-host, that is Mr. Boniface Mushiri, who is also joining us for today's episode. We told you we will be talking about inclusion of the deaf community, and we will be having our guest, Winnie Adoyo. She is the CEO of Inclusion Champions Society. And so why don't we go straight and introduce our guest, Winnie, to today's conversation. And it's good to have you, Winnie.
Yes. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Karibu sana.
Yeah, you've rightfully put it. My name is Winnie Adoyo.
Right.
HSC. Some people call me Kiongos. Not
Kiongozi.
Kiongos with a double S at the end.
All right.
Yeah, it's really a pleasure to be here. I am the founder and CEO of Inclusion Champions Society, which is basically championing for inclusion of persons with disability. And other than that, I am also a sign language Bible translation facilitator. This means that what I do is taking the printed Bible, I break the message down, I do exegesis of the Bible, I break it down into simple sign language to a team of deaf people I work with. Then they're able to bring out the same, reproduce the information in sign language. This I don't just do in Kenya. By God's grace, I'm able to do it with a couple of deafs in other places of the world, just to assist them to help the very complex English in the Bible so that they're able to reproduce for the deaf audience all over the world. And other than that, I'm also a sign language consultant. That is briefly about myself.
All right.
That is amazing. I mean, we were just joking here about you being a CEO and a founder. It's what every lady
Goals.
Every man also
Goals.
But I mean, I believe it's work.
It is.
You know, being almost 5 years now since this organization began. Tell us about the inspiration behind it, because you don't just wake up one day and say, I want to be CEO and founder. It has to come from somewhere. So take us back to the journey of Winnie Adoyo deciding that this is the line I want to take. What drove you there?
Okay. Thank you for that question. What inspired the foundation of Inclusion Champions is from a personal experience. This is a lived experience. Growing up as a young girl, for some reason, I think God designed it that my parents gave me out to a deaf auntie who became my mom at a tender age. So I started signing as quite an early age. And as my mom, we would go to places, we would just live an ordinary life of a mother-daughter. And of course, now she was the head of the house. I witnessed firsthand discrimination and just a lot of barriers every time. And these things impacted on me heavily because I always felt like she's a super mom to me. But then nobody else realizes this. Because everywhere we go, she's not given a chance to speak just because she's deaf. And so over the years, this thing has been harbored in me. I just feel that something can be done. If we create inclusive spaces, then persons with disability can thrive. On my paternal side, I also have an uncle, the guy who follows my dad immediately, who is blind, totally blind. But an amazing guy who worked in the police and is just doing extraordinary things. But I also realized that the same script, people don't really realize the value. They focus on the disability. And so for this reason, I, for many years, really felt like something little can be done. Just let's remove the barriers. Let's give them opportunity. And so ICS is just here to act like a bridge to help guys, the persons with disability and without. Let us change the attitude, remove the barriers, and let these people thrive. Let's explore the many potential that is harbored in them. That is ICS.
Awesome, awesome. And partly you have answered what I was wanted you to focus on. For when we talk of inclusion, what does it, for Winnie, what does inclusion for the deaf community look like?
Thank you. For the deaf community, I believe inclusion would be number one, adopting sign language as part of your everyday life. Because their greatest barrier is communication. They are not able to access information because it is not packaged in a language they are able to understand. They are not given a chance to be heard just because nobody is ready to listen to what they are saying in sign language. So if we are able to make sign language as part of our everyday life, then this would be inclusion for me. And secondly, let us not take away opportunities from them. Because if we create inclusive environment, if we remove the barriers like communication barriers, you can have a deaf ear as an anchor because they're able to do it. We can have deaf governors, we can have deaf people as entrepreneurs in all the spaces literally. But then this only comes when we remove the barriers and make our spaces inclusive. And this runs across everywhere. In churches, we can give them a chance to preach because God speaks to them as well. And this is not just the deaf, and even other persons with disability. If we don't focus on their disability, focus on their potential, and let's give them a chance and an opportunity.
Wow, and I think you've partly mentioned it, but I would want us to just camp a little more in that. You know, show us what it looks like in institution, in the church, in the government. How should we ensure that inclusivity is part of our daily conversation, and even for us as individuals? Because I think there are times when we will meet the deaf, you know, and if we don't know how to communicate with them, we don't even know sign language. So how can we ensure that even us, we don't assume that we will never interact at any point with someone who is deaf and will need us to, you know, do a bit of sign language?
That for sure. You have partly responded to your own question, which I like. Yeah, for sure. I think it starts with us the embracing the sign language and adopting it. It means you can go out of your way and try to learn basic, just a few words here and there, so that when you engage with a deaf person, then you can say some things. And secondly, I really believe that the best way of including them is to bring them on board. If you are in the government spaces, if you are in the media, if you are in the education sector, the health sector, the legal sector, in all these spaces, from my personal experience, I've also seen a lot of deaf people really get frustrated because somebody is on the wrong side of the law. They are taken to the court. By the time they get an interpreter, the decision has been made and they're in. Somebody goes to the hospital because there's no interpreter. On paper, a few hospitals have interpreters. But qua ground, it might not be the same. So they go there. I have real issues that have happened that I have personally handled where somebody was misdiagnosed just because they were trying to explain something in sign language, what the doctor thought, and they ended up prescribing a medication. That was not it. Then this person takes medicine for a month or more, only to later realize that that was not it. And you see, those are really like gross misfortunes. The same happens in schools. Are you guys aware that our deaf people, there is something called KSL? So the language of instruction in school, they are being instructed in sign language. But when they go to the national exam, they meet papers which are structured in exact English. And so they're not able to compete at the same level with the other children who are not deaf or other disabilities. So in this case, it means that from the education sector, if the ground is not level, then their entire life, they go to the employment spaces, the corporate, they try to apply, but then because of how the application of the CV is written in somehow KSL, they are automatically disqualified. And if perchance they are lucky to be invited for an interview, just the fact that they are deaf, they might not sail through that. Because number one, the employer is thinking, am I going to employ two people? Do I need an interpreter in this case? The easier way is to let this deaf go. Not seeing that this person actually has the skills that they can bring on board. So I feel like for me, And my sign language interpreters community, I would really want to commend, because I know some interpreters who do this. Once you bring an interpreter on board here, then they will help you figure out how can I bring a deaf. I remember when I was invited for this session, I was quick to say, I'm tagging along a deaf because this is their show. I don't want to speak on their behalf. Let them come and speak about the Deaf Bible Challenge. But for some reason, this wasn't possible, which I really understood. But then it is for us to create these spaces. Be intentional. If you create that space, then you're going to get the best fit to come into that space with who is deaf, who is visually impaired, who has physical challenges. But then it has to start with you preparing for them before they get there. So that when they come, then you are able to help them thrive together.
Wow.
You know, I'm listening to you, Winnie, and what I'm getting partly is that the society is not really able to understand the day-to-day deaf experience. And there's a lot that we need to do, even as a community, as a country, so that we help them in as far as, because I'm looking at it in terms of the day-to-day activities and their own personal experiences, both within and also when now they go out there to the community. It's a challenge for them.
It is.
It is. And you know, first of all, when whatever we go through, and then now you experience discrimination, stigmatization, isolation, it's too much. Mention something that you have highlighted in terms of the education system. How can we make it conducive? Because on the one hand, whatever they are going through in the education system, but vis-a-vis what they will sit at the end of their education, how can we ensure that it's seamless across board?
I am aware that there have been a few stakeholders who have been trying, making attempts to try at least look into this special education. And with this, I want to commend the ministry and KISE, Kenya Institute of Special Education, and KICD, because at least they're trying to do something. But again, everybody who is keen on this matter, I think it's about time that we have this conversation going on everywhere. Because the truth is, the ground is not level. Especially when it comes to that, maybe let me talk of specifically deaf, because that has been happening. And I just believe if there is a way to have them being instructed, the same language of instruction is the same language of examination. So don't instruct me in sign language, then you give me a written paper at the end of it.
That's unfair.
So I feel like if that would be one step that we figure out, I know it might need some investment, but it's a worthy investment because these are lives involved. So for me, I would feel like the discussions in the quarters that are already going on, that is commendable. But then we need to have everybody talk about, let's make this news, let's make it in our circles so that everybody is aware that something needs to be done in the education, because education is an equalizer. But here, it is the opposite. It is not equalizing anything. Instead, it is just making it more uneven. So I feel like we need to talk more about this in our own spaces. And then again, we need to get there and just try to learn and understand more. If there's somebody with disability around you, just get to understand how is your education. Is there something that you would feel need to be changed? And then you compare with what already is happening on the other side, the children, the other children without disability, how they learn, how these ones learn, including the people who are instructing them. You might find you're being instructed in sign language, and some unfortunate instances where even the instructor is not proficient in that sign language. But that is all you have to depend on for your entire education future. That can be really hard. I mean, I can imagine the teacher not really knowing how to do it. And I feel like before we end up the show, you're going to give us some basic sign language, you know. Unfortunately, no.
You don't. Why?
I can, but I always like it when the deaf person do, because that's why I was so intentional to come along with the deaf, so that they can teach you, because it's their language. Of course, I know sign language. I can teach you. I grew up signing this. But for today, next time, please invite me, and I tag along a deaf. Then they can give you one or two things. Thank you.
But since we have a sign language interpreter here with us today, I think we will ask them just to show people how you say, how are you?
Oh, yeah?
You know, how do you
Probably.
say thank you? I
Yes.
mean, that's
I
something.
believe he's already doing that.
Yeah.
He's already doing that.
Yes.
I see this as
Yeah.
thank you.
Awesome.
This is how you clap.
Yes.
I feel like this is important. I think
Yeah.
towards the end we will do a revision of the same.
sure.
But I want us to talk about the Bible challenge.
Yes.
For me, I find that to be very unique and beautiful at the same time because we talk about the deaf, we talk about the sign language interpretation, but very often we don't hear someone bringing in the Bible. So I feel like that is one thing that really stands out with the organization. So I want us to camp there a little bit. Talk to us about, you coming to the place of thinking this is necessary, this is something that I need to do, and what has been the impact.
Thank you. All right, so Deaf Bible Challenge.
Yeah.
This is one of our flagship programs at ICS. And Deaf Bible Challenge also, most of the things we do are from just lived experiences with these persons around me and around us.
Yes.
So as I mentioned, growing up, I had a deaf mom who did her best as a good mother to try and teach me in the godly ways. But then it's interesting because at about age 10, I would realize that some of the things she's really feeling or explaining to me concerning the word, to me, I knew way, way more. And I was like, okay, when I tried to figure, I didn't understand. So most of the time I'm like, I know these. But sometimes even I explain to him and she's so wowed, like, oh, that is so much information. Where do you get to know this?
Yeah.
So, but then I didn't understand at that point where this was happening. Many years later, when I got into the deaf community, I just went to learn about now, let me get to know more about the deaf, about sign language. I actually had to go to school despite growing up signing. I felt it's important. So now I got to understand like, the limitations and possibly why sometimes this might happen. So for me, I realized it wasn't only my deaf mom who had this challenge, but then this cuts across. Now engaging with different people, then I realized, oh, okay, this is something that is cutting across. They don't get so much access to the Bible, access to the Word of God, because today most of our churches still don't have even the sign language interpreter. That is just a first step to being inclusive. Otherwise, the best way would be also to onboard the deaf, let them be leaders. Let them, because they can be pastors. We have some churches which are fully led by the deaf.
Yeah.
They have deaf pastors and everything. So that was one of the reasons I felt like there was a missing link where the access to the Word of God is not there. And secondly, I mentioned in the beginning that I'm also engaged in translating the Bible into sign language. But again, I realized these resources that we have already produced, we don't have a full Bible yet, but the portions that we already have, they are also not being in use so much. So then I started engaging with so many different deaf, like, we have sign language Bible. Are you able to get it? Like, no, because you see, it is visual. So it's either on your phone or you need a gadget to watch it. So for some reason, it's still not getting to them. And so I was like, okay, fine. How can we then have these guys engage with the Word of God in a more exciting way? So then the Bible Challenge was born. The Bible Challenge started in 2022. We had the first one at All Saints Cathedral, and that time we were doing the creation story. Every year we come up with a theme, we give them, because the creation story has been translated into sign language, so we have those portions. So we give them the translated Bibles, they watch them, then when they come, they will reproduce the scripture. That is one portion of the competition. Another part of the competition, we are going to ask them questions from the Bible on the theme of the year. Then they're going to respond. And then we also, another portion of the competition, we also give them a chance to question each other, just to know how much do they know from anywhere in the Bible. Just ask anybody any question. Then they ask. Now PCA is going to ask CITAM, and SEK is going to ask SDA and Catholic. And it's interesting that this thing brings on board everybody. We are not particular to Pentecostals or Orthodox, or we have everybody on board. Because to the deaf people, we are normally one community. In fact, they don't even know about this tribal thing. Their tribe is the first one. We are one. So now when we come together with this, we did the first in 2022. 2023, we were right here at Sitam Valley Road, and we were doing the life of Abraham. The same trend. And then last year we were at PCA St. Andrews. We did the life of Joseph. And this year, by God's grace, we are going to be at PCA Umoja. We are doing the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And so we gave them these portions of the translated scripture into sign language way back in the beginning of the year. So they've been watching them and trying to internalize. And as we do this, we also pray that God is just going to minister to them.
Yeah.
And when we do this again, we reach out to the churches and just ask them, your deaf team is participating. Could you maybe before or after, before the competition, are you able to engage with them, help them to understand this topic of the year? And then during the competition, are you guys able to come and support them? And it doesn't have to be your deaf team participating. Even if you don't have a deaf team, please come and watch and just learn a thing.
Yeah.
So we ask them to come and cheer the team up. And after the competition, are you able to give them a chance to tell you one or two things they learned during this whole process?
Yeah.
And so that is what Bible Challenge does. And in the course of it, we have had deaf people giving their life to Christ, which is something that we actually didn't anticipate at the beginning. I think it wasn't even there. But then it happened naturally. God has worked through the Bible Challenge for the deaf. And we're really happy and thank God for that. Yeah.
That's a huge milestone. And you said this year it will be at PCA Umoja.
Umoja
When
on
will this be?
30th of this month. That's the next 2 weeks or so.
All right.
Yes. And we'd like to have you guys there.
Ah,
Please come and now learn sign language from the deaf.
yes.
Not from me.
Direct.
So thank you for that invitation. But also maybe someone is watching and they would want to be part of this particular challenge.
Yes.
How then can they plug in?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. So that is the question I was waiting for. That is the $1 million question. How do you plug in?
Yeah. How do you plug in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number one, we need your prayers.
Yeah.
Trust me, because I think this Bible challenge is kind of shaking the kingdom of the devil.
Yeah.
It is.
And he knows it.
It is.
So we have gone through a rough patch most of the time when preparing. And the interesting thing with this is with ICS is like when we are doing this program for the deaf, there's a deaf committee that is preparing this. And on the D-Day, we have deaf judges, deaf MCs, most of them, they run it. And then people like me, we support from the back. And so even for this one, during the planning, most of the time, I think one way that we really need is the prayers so that God can just have his way. And also from any attacks of the devil.
Yeah.
That is number one. And number two, we would like you to come and attend the event. Because it is also part of our way of creating awareness.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that people don't understand when it comes to deaf. And so this is more of an awareness program. And we like everybody. You don't have to be deaf. We are organizing for sign language interpretation to be there. Who will be voicing for you everything that the deaf is saying. So please come, everybody. And other than that, we also would like somebody to just partner with us. Financially, materially. Materially, there are things that you can give us because we need, maybe you're printing certificates, maybe you can give us trophies, maybe you're able to give us T-shirts, maybe you're able to give us drinking water, maybe you're able to give us anything. We have a long list of needs that we have. So if you can just take one, alternatively, you can just support us directly. We have a pay bill number, we have an account. I don't know if it's okay to share the pay bill numbers online. Yes, please. So if you want to support us, the pay bill number is 4093995. 4093995. And the account is Deaf Bible Challenge. If you do Deaf Bible Challenge, then we will be very honored to receive that support. And so I think that is it. Also this year, just to mention that the Deaf Bible Challenge is actually ushering in the International Deaf Awareness Month, which happens annually in the month of September.
All right.
So for this year, the theme is, the theme for this year is no human right without sign language right. Which is something that is really in line with what we do. No human right without sign language right. So we want everybody to at least try, because the moment the deaf do not have access to sign language, then you can't talk of human rights or their rights when the basic communication, they are left out. So basically that's about Deaf Bible Challenge, and we're looking forward, we're excited. Right now, 15 teams have already confirmed will be participating. So we have teams coming from Kajiado, from Nakuru, from Kiambu, from within Nairobi, and there are many other deaf who have heard about this Bible Challenge at the coast, in Western, everywhere, and they want to be part of this, but we're financially constrained because we're not able to reach all of them. We would really want everybody to come on board, but then with your support, if you're able to plug in and support us, then can expand to the other parts where other people are really waiting and needing it.
Right.
And we pray that God will provide for you, because what you're doing is honorable, beautiful, much needed. And I think at this point we can take a short break, and then when we come back we still have more to talk about. I believe that you are learning a thing or two. Remember, we are live on YouTube, and that means you can share the link with a friend. On TikTok also, you can join us live from there. We'll be back after this short break.
My church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against.
This September, Uhuru Park will thunder with revival.
This place that gave birth to a revival to a continent will once again give birth to a revival to a generation.
5 days of worship, word and breakthrough. Experience word that awakens destiny and presence that transforms lives. Join a nationwide awakening like no other. Come as you are, seeking, believing, expectant. Rema Feast 2025.
And so here it begins again from the 1st to the 5th of September 2025.
Entry is free.
Get ready, family. From the 26th to the 30th of August 2025, something powerful is happening at Seaton Valley Road. It's the Family Discipleship Conference 2025. And everyone's invited. Parents, teens, youth, and even golden ages. This one's for you. Our theme this year is Unmasked, inspired by Galatians 5:25, a bold invitation to walk in step with the Spirit as a family and a generation. Daily from 8:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Come experience deep teaching, vibrant worship, and real conversations that will transform your family life and your walk with God. And we've got a powerhouse speaker lineup just for you. Bishop Callisto Odede, Dr. Shodanke Johnson, Reverend Dr. Emily Obwaka, Bishop Dr. Gibson Anduvate, Ernest Wamboye, Reverend Grace Bukachi, and Reverend Tom Otieno. Whether you're a parent navigating modern challenges, a teen finding your identity, or a youth hungry for truth, this one is for you. Workshops, worship, fun activities, and powerful moments. It's all here. Registration is now open. Secure your spot today by clicking the link below. That is ftc.sitam.org. Registration and the conference is free. Mark your calendar. Bring your crew and let's grow together, unmasked and in step with the Spirit. Seaton Family Discipleship Conference 2025, where generations gather, grow, and go.
Join John Cousin every weekday as he takes us on a journey through the Bible.
Whoever shall seek to save his life, if you go back to living for yourself, you're going to lose it. But whoever shall lose his life, give up his life for my sake, he shall preserve it.
Enjoy interesting, knowledge-packed, yet simple teachings through his humor and in-depth understanding of God's Word.
The last people that tried to put God in a box, literally, he rose again. He wouldn't stay in their compartment. If God was small enough for me to figure out, he wouldn't be big enough for me to worship.
Tune in to Hope TV for John Cousin every 10 p.m., 4 a.m., and 10 a.m. weekdays on Hope TV, where you look and live. Join John Cousin every weekday as he takes us on a journey through the Bible.
Whoever shall seek to save his life, if you go back to living for yourself, you're going to lose it. But whoever shall lose his life, give up his life for my sake, he shall preserve it.
Enjoy interesting, knowledge-packed, yet simple teachings through his humor and in-depth understanding of God's Word.
The last people that tried to put God in a box, literally, he rose again. He wouldn't stay in their compartment. If God was small enough for me to figure out, he wouldn't be big enough for me to worship.
Tune in to Hope TV for John Cousin every 10 p.m., 4 a.m., and 10 a.m. weekdays on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Welcome back after that short break. We are back to continue with our conversation. It's all about inclusion of the deaf community, and it's full house, lots of engagement even off air. And on top of us being the host here, we also have an extra hand this morning. And I was reminded during the break that I need to get my head off the ongoing Chan tournament and the mini millions they are receiving, because our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi Ndwiga.
Wow.
Not
Yeah.
Boniface Mushiri. Boniface
Who is
Mushiri
Boniface
is a winger with the Harambee Stars.
Oh my
And
goodness.
our interpreter Boniface Mureithi was only a footballer up
Yeah.
until high school.
Oh.
Dream ikaishia hapo. So welcome back as we continue with our conversation this morning, and thank
Yes.
you, Winnie, for joining us as well. Let's talk about parents with children who are deaf. What can they do? Because many a times we have seen, and maybe partly because of the community, the stigmatization and all,
Yeah.
they tend to hide their children until it's way late.
True.
What can parents do to ensure inclusion, even of their own children?
Okay, great. Thank you. When it comes to the parents and the families, they play a very key role in all our lives. And so because the family you come from will most definitely define who you are, define how you are going to go out there and socialize and build or break relationships because of how it started in the family. So I want to first of all start by commending all the amazing parents to the children with disability, because we have some outstanding parents who go extra way to ensure that their children are almost at par with everyone else. So a big shout out. I would have wanted to mention names, to drop names, but then you're so many. So to be for the sake of peace, please appreciate yourself. If you're a parent out there and just doing an amazing job. But we've met with you in our circles, especially at ICS during the Father's Day, where we have fathers of these children come together in a support group and just encourage one another. We also have had mothers just come together and encourage one another. So thank you so much, especially the champions amongst us in ICS. So that aside, how best can we support these children? Number one, if it is a child with deafness, then I want to believe that the basic is having the sign language. At the minimum, let you guys at least have the sign language skills to communicate. Because there's no way you can be a mother and then your teenager can only talk to some strange sign language interpreter out there when things are happening to them and they do not understand. But they cannot speak to you as a mother because you don't have their language. So I feel like for mothers, you play a very key role. And fathers, the families with statistics, we've seen the families where the father is present and involved. These children, for some reason, really thrive because of the affirmation from their father. Despite having a disability, then you get affirmed by your father, then no one else out there is going to put you down. Because you know your daddy and your mommy says you're good enough. But then if at the family unit, you give the other children an opportunity to go to school first, and then their elder brother or elder sister is left at home because they are deaf, because they have this disability, physical disability, then at that point is where we want to request the parents. We know sometimes you might be having your own reasons or the challenges, but then you can take this bold step. Reach out to us at ICS because we have support groups as well. At least come and learn from the rest. This is my challenge. How did someone else figure out that? Then you can be able to figure out. So please, for the families, for the parents, let's learn sign language.
Yeah.
Secondly, please be involved in their education. I will keep repeating this. Education is an equalizer. Please get involved in your child's education. Just get to know where is the best place. We even have education assessment that goes on at Kenya, KICD, National, KISE, and National Council for Persons with Disability. They do assessment and will help you place your child in a best fit school.
Yeah.
So that you don't just wake up and see the next door school and take them there when every other child in that school is hearing and the teacher will be speaking orally. They are not going to be at par. So get to look for assessment and then place your child in a relevant and appropriate school, because some of these schools are also doing just amazing job.
Yeah.
And thirdly, also get to support their talents, because these people have a lot of talents. If you support them, and then they also don't have this feeling of like, oh, so my younger ones are better than me because they don't have a disability.
Yeah.
So they grow up from the family unit knowing that I am the big sister here, I am the big brother here, and that position reaffirm them for whoever they are. Once you reaffirm them and in the language that they best understand, because sign language, as we say, it is not just a tool of communication. This is a language of dignity, of identity, and human rights. And so that is why we want to repeat the call. If you have a deaf person in your family, please, and at ICS, oh, I should mention this. We actually have a program specifically for families. And before the end of this year, we're going to do our Family Olympics. Family Olympics, and I hope you guys will come, please. Family Olympics, where you come with your child with disability, and then you engage in very simple team building activities. Of course, you do this along other team. It's kind of a competition, but the aim is just to help us have better bonding, better unity at the family, better inclusion. If you've never communicated in sign language, then you have to do a teamwork together with your child. If your child is visually impaired, then you've never known how to be the best guide. How do you place your hand? Where do they hold? Then you're going to learn all this at the Family Olympics. And most importantly, we want to encourage even the society, because there are so many things you need to learn about even the caregivers and the people who are related to people with disability directly, because there are sometimes even them, they receive the same hit. When you look at their child differently, when you just deny them opportunity because of the child, there's a lot of harm that you're doing to this person. So this is also a call to the entire society, just to try and be more intentional, change your perception, and try to learn how best can I be of help to my neighbor who I'm seeing has this child, and I've never even bothered to know what is the one thing they need. Do they need somebody to lift this person because they have really grown in size? Maybe they need somebody to help them lift this person from time to time from one point to another. Some of these things are very basic need. You don't need $1 million to support the cause of inclusion. You just need a heart that is ready to learn and is willing to be engaged.
Are there some laws maybe or even policies that you feel they need to be changed maybe or better enforced to ensure and even help in inclusion?
Thank you. So when it comes to laws and policies, I think as a country, we are doing very well. In this year, we had a 2003 Persons with Disability Bill that was kind of now becoming overtaken by event. But then we have a brand new bill right now, 2005, that was just ascended into the other day, this very year. So we have a new bill that on paper is saying very nice things. Including the caregivers and parents for children with disability need to be tax exempted, including how from the government to all the institutions, the exact and practical things you need to put in place so that you can make your spaces inclusive. But then for me, I feel like what really need to be done at this point, the laws are there, the implementation. Can we and every stakeholder, the media, you guys play a very key role because you shape opinions. So if we are able to bring more discussion on the 2005 disability bill, let's just break it down, because if I start breaking it down, we'll take another 1 hour. And this bill is also by Senator Crystal Asige, who is also visually impaired. But now see, she was given a chance and see the things she's doing. Making laws and bills and policies and impacting the entire world. and impacting our lives at the grassroots.
Yeah.
So this is exactly what we mean when we talk of inclusion and what can possibly happen. So I want to believe we have almost enough laws. We don't even need more. But at this point, the implementation of these laws is where we need to focus on.
Beautiful. And I would love for you to talk about support, because I think when people live in isolation, it can really be hard when you think that this is only happening to me. But talk about the importance of having a support system, and not just limited to the deaf, but any disability, and why that is important.
Yeah. So ICS, one thing that we believe is not to just let persons with disability survive amongst us, but then we are supposed to help them to thrive in whichever areas that they feel God has called them into.
Yeah.
So for this reason, the support system comes in handy. If you have a deaf person without a sign language interpreter, or without people around them who are able to communicate effectively and clearly, then they don't have that most needed support system. And this support system, allow me to reiterate again the family unit. The family unit, that's where it begins, and still remains a central organization or a central unit of our society that is really able to bring greater impact. So I feel like the families, if you have a deaf person, at least learn the basic sign language. If you have the developmental, the person who with the developmental challenges, then you also need to just learn how best can I include them. If it is a physical disability, then how can I be of best support? And any other disability, there's something that at ICS we have put up a program called Disability Etiquette, which is a very basic thing just for both persons with disability and without disability. Like at Hope Media, if you want all your staff to have a basic understanding of the etiquette, ICS, we can organize with you guys to have these, so that whenever you meet a person with disability, if it is albinism, there's always a temptation to just look at them a little extra minutes or something. You do this sometimes unknowingly, but then how does this make them feel? So just to help us know, how do I engage? How far can I go when I meet a person with disability? So that is the first support system. And secondly, I also believe that the people in the decision making, like what our good Senator Asige is doing, we need to have more of her and other persons who are going to be add their voices to this cause of disability and inclusion. Because if we don't talk about it, then I don't really think we are going to make any progress, because it is going to be the same stories that happened to the older generation of persons with disability who died without accomplishing their God-given roles, their God-given purpose. But then we can change the story today when we just have the support system. At ICS specifically, what we do to bring more support system is the parents that I mentioned before. We have the fathers, sometimes the men, they're not very many, but they're those who have remained and are very consistent. They come together, and then as they share about their challenges and their triumphs, another parent is going to learn. And as they do this, also even giving each other tips of how best can I go about this. I'm struggling with this. How someone else in the same support group have had the same, and they're able to share and build each other. The same case we also have for mothers and other caregivers, where they come together as women and share and just encourage one another, like, oh, I went through the same thing you're talking about, and this is how I overcame it. So that kind of support system is really, really important. And if there is anybody out there, maybe you're thinking, that is something I would like to be part of. Maybe you're a mother, you're a father, or you're a caregiver, or you're just a friend. You could be a person, you're just a friend, and you feel like, I'm a profession in the mental health sector. And I know that is one thing that us at ICS, we have really had that need. Like when we're having our event anytime, mental health is becoming a big talk in our society today. So if you can come and just meet the fathers and speak to them about their mental health and the basic practical thing they can do. If you can come and talk to the mothers and the other caregivers, then you can also reach out to us. And so we tell you how to plug in. whether you want to be a beneficiary, you are a parent, or whether you are a professional, you just feel, I want to give you some basic legal tips. If your right has been, somebody is messing up with the right in the community, and you don't know where to begin, or you found yourself in the wrong side of the law, where do I even begin? Who do I talk to? Because we hear legal process is very expensive.
Yeah.
I'm not able to do anything. So then you can also reach out to us. I don't know if it's okay to give out a contact for that.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, sure. So if you are such a person and you're watching us out there, then you can reach out to ICS through 0720 20 5434. 0720 20 5434. That is the number. You can reach out to us. Maybe you are a professional, you want to give of your skills and services, or maybe you are a parent or a caregiver that you feel you need to be supported in that manner. Kindly reach out to us, and we'll be very happy to add on to your support system. Yeah.
Winnie, thank you so very much, even for the wisdom and the knowledge and the good work that you are doing in as far as bringing transformation to the deaf community in our country is concerned. And so it's a challenge to us. We are inspired, we are motivated, and so thank you so very much. Maybe as we bring our conversation to a close, you could mention about the challenge and again the dates, the venue,
Yes.
and of course how people can be able to register.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. So just to mention again, the Deaf Bible Challenge 2025 will be happening on 30th of August. I know 30th of August, something else important is happening. Please, my good friend,
Yes.
don't go to church.
No, Masana.
30th August,
Wow.
the last day of church.
Yeah,
So I know it's a very tricky date. It's a critical date.
It's
But
good that
please
you
remember.
Yeah.
Because people have been coming.
Yeah.
How do we come for Bible challenge at this church?
It's Chan.
No, ma.
So please block your
Yeah,
calendars.
yeah.
Our Bible challenge will be from 9 in the morning to 4 p.m.
Okay.
And Chan is starting at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So you can actually have both.
We have
You have a
2
2-hour
hours.
window
Yeah.
to move from. And where's
Yeah.
the venue? The venue will be at PCA Umoja. PCA Umoja have graciously been hosting us for this year, and we really want to already send our gratitude to them, to the church, and to the leadership of PCA Umoja for just agreeing to host this Deaf Bible Challenge. And if you want to come, you don't need to register. The teams which are participating already registered. So right now, if you have a deaf team in your church and you want them to participate, still you can contact us. You can come and watch how it happens. Then next year, September, you can also be part of the teams that are participating.
Yeah.
So for now, it is open for everyone. There is no registration. There is no payment of anything. Just come. But on the same spirit, we also welcome everybody. If you're able to support with an item or two, we will be very happy. Allow me to repeat the pay bill number. This one I'm not asking for permission now. Pay bill number is 4093995. 4093995, and the account is Deaf Bible Challenge. And we will be very happy. And at Inclusion Champions, our motto is anchored on the starfish story.
Wow.
It's a very common story that talks of this young boy who was at the shores just picking up starfish and throwing back into the water. But then an old man was seeing him from afar, wondering what exactly is he doing. When he moved closer and understood he's picking them, and he was like, there are millions and thousands of them. Are you even making any impact? But the response of this boy is where the heart of ICS lies. He was very confident. This one that I've picked and thrown back into the water, it will survive. Even if the millions are going to die, this one is going to survive. And so for us, our impact, we don't want to save the entire world.
No.
There's that one deaf life that is going to give their life to Christ. There's that one person with disability who is going to live and achieve their purpose in life. That is the person we want to reach out to. So you don't have to have a million or a billionaire. Just come with, if you give us 500 shillings, it is not too late. We will totally appreciate. Thank you.
That's amazing. And as I mentioned, you did tell us that Boniface Mureithi is part and parcel of what you do at this amazing company. So I want to give him an opportunity to show us. How do you say, how are you? And the people watching, you can observe. So how are you? How do we do that, Boniface?
You do this. You, how?
Okay, you, how? Beautiful. Okay, how do you say thank you? Beautiful.
And the secret is to do after him.
Yeah,
When he does,
okay.
do the same.
Thank you. Thank you. And then the other one, you? How are you? Oh, you? How? Then thank you. That's amazing. I think, and then, of course, tunashangilia
Yeah,
with the clapping. Oh,
Yeah,
this has
thank
been
you.
awesome, Winnie. So refreshing, so beautiful. One of the most unique episodes that we've ever done here. And, you know, I'm carrying what you said about the starfish. You know, I think we have been placed in various areas where we can be of great impact. God chose you for that specific thing. He has chosen Gigi for another, me for another, Boniface Morevi for something else. So I believe when we have that mentality, then we don't see what we do as little, but then we honor that one person that we have influenced and changed their lives for the better. So thank you for leaving us with that. For me, that is just a big highlight. And with what you're doing, I pray that God will continue to bless you and uplift you. And may you go global. You know, in fact, continue going global because you already are global. So, I mean, you're inspiring the rest of us who want to be CEOs in the future to start something that creates a great impact. But to our viewers, asanteni sana for watching us this day. From me here is to say, thank you for watching the show, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you indeed for tuning in to today's episode, a special one indeed.
Yes.
And thank you, Winnie. Thank you, Boniface. And thank you also for tuning in to today's episode. Tomorrow being a Wednesday, it's the Christian Walk segment. We continue with the conversation around Unmasked, which will be happening. That is the FDC happening next week. And tomorrow it's focus on the young people. And so we are hoping to host Pastor Precious Call to come and talk to us about Unmasked, but now with an eye with the young people. So from me, George Gishuru, it's to wish you a blessed and a fruitful day ahead. Kwaheri for now.
All right.